Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to read the conclusion of The Egyptian Cinderella by Shirley Climo. When Rodolphus dared to lift her eyes, she saw the falcon soar away. Dangling from his talons was one of her beautiful slippers. "Stop!" she pleaded. "Come back!" But the bird did not heed her. He flew toward the sun until he was no more than a dark speck against the gold. Rodolphus bit her tongue. One shoe was worse than none at all. Now she'd have to dance like a stork, hopping about on one foot, and even the monkey would laugh. Rodolphus took the slipper into her tunic and returned to her laundry, salting the river with her tears. And here's a picture. After Rodolphus had lost sight of the falcon, the mighty bird followed the course of the Nile to the city of Memphis, to the square where the Pharaoh was holding court. There the falcon watched and waited. The Pharaoh's name was Amasis. On his head he wore the red and white crown of the two Egypts. The double crown was heavy and pinched his ears. He preferred driving his chariot fast as the wind to sitting on the throne. Amasis yawned. When a ruler holds court, it means that lots of important people come to see him. It's like a party. So why did he yawn? That seems strange. Like he's not even interested in his own party. At that very moment, the falcon dropped the rose-red slipper into his lap. The slipper was so bright that Amasis thought it was a scrap of the sun. Then he saw the falcon wheeling overhead. "The god Horus sends me a sign," exclaimed the Pharaoh. He picked up the rose-red slipper. "Every maiden in Egypt must try on this shoe. She whose foot it fits shall be my queen. That is the will of the gods." Amasis dismissed the court, called for his chariot, and began his search at once. When the Egyptian servant girls arrived in Memphis, they found the throne empty and the streets deserted. They were so angry on their return that even seeing Rodolphus without her rose-red slipper did not please them. "Slaves are better off barefoot," snapped Kippa. So why were the servant girls so angry? Did they not know why the Pharaoh was gone? The Pharaoh journeyed to distant cities. He tracked the desert where the pyramids tower over the sand. He climbed the steep cliffs where the falcons nest. The rose-red slipper was always in his hand. Wherever he went, women and girls, rich or poor, flocked to try on the slipper, but none could fit into so small a shoe. Do you predict that he will give up and go back to his palace? We'll see. The longer Amasis searched, the more determined he became to marry the maiden who had lost the tiny slipper. He summoned his royal barge and vowed to visit every landing along the Nile. The barge was hung with sails of silk, trumpets blared, and oarsmen rowed to the beat of the songs. The din was so dreadful that when the barge rounded the bend and the river, Rodolphus fled in alarm, but the servant girls ran to the water's edge. They wanted to see what was going on. They wanted to see the Pharaoh, right? "Now we will see the Pharaoh," cried Kippa. Amasis held up the rose-red slipper. "Whoever can wear this shoe shall be my queen." The servant girls knew that shoe, knew its owner too, yet they clapped their hands over their mouths and said nothing. If one of them could wear it. So they're trying to be sneaky here. First Kippa, then the others tried to put on the slipper. Each cramped her foot and curled her toes and squeezed until tears ran down her cheeks. Still, her heel hung out. "Enough," said Amasis wearily. He would have to set sail again had he not chanced to see Rodolphus peering through the bushes. And here she is watching. "Come," he commanded. "You must try on this red slipper." The servant girls gawked open-mouthed as the Pharaoh kneeled before Rodolphus. He slipped the tiny shoe on her foot with ease. Then Rodolphus pulled out its mate from the folds of her tunic. "Behold," cried Amasis, "in all the land there is none so fit to be queen." "But Rodolphus is a slave," protested one of the servant girls. Kippa sniffed. "She is not even Egyptian." She is the most Egyptian of all, the Pharaoh declared, for her eyes are as green as the Nile, her hair as feathery as papyrus, and her skin the pink of a lotus flower. The Pharaoh led Rhodopis to the royal barge, and with every step her rose-red slippers winked and sparkled in the sun. And that's the end of our story. The Egyptian Cinderella. I hope you enjoyed listening.